Hey guys, so funny angles, weird colors, but basically I am here doing a little bit of a vlog style because I am going to be getting lash extensions today. I'm super excited. I thought I would take you guys along because I have never had lash extensions. So I'm actually late for my appointment, surprise. Actually getting them done at my Ulta because the lash specialist that I'm going to is phenomenal and you guys will meet her in a second. She's amazing. Her name is Danny. But yeah, let's get into it. So guys, I'm here with Danny. We just got the right camera angle. But Danny is setting up now. So Danny, feel free to explain as you go.
All right, well right now I'm just pulling out the supplies we're gonna need. Preformed volumizing lashes. That is our tweezers. We have volumizing tweezers that we're going to be using. They're a very specific kind to grab the lashes properly. We'll have our bonding agent, which is a fancy word for glue. And then we'll also have gel pads that we're going to be laying down that's going to separate the upper and lower lashes.
Okay.
And that separation is key to having a proper lash extension service done. So I'm going to have you just look straight ahead. And then go ahead and close. Does that feel comfortable?
Mm-hmm.
All right, now I'm going to have you take your finger and hold this lid shut while we place the other one. And when we're getting the gel pads down, we want to get them close enough to the lash line where we're catching all of the small lower lashes. Go ahead and start closing for me. But not close enough where the gel pad's getting into the eye area.
What's on these gel pads?
So these gel pads are aloe and collagen.
Okay.
So they're
so they're just like an eye mask kind of
Correct.
thing? Okay.
Much nicer than the tape that we used to use.
Yeah, I saw that when I was like looking at eyelash extension videos. Like I saw a lot of people taping like everything down.
That still technically is standard practice, but it's just not as nice of a service. So the very first thing that we're going to do is clean the lashes.
Okay.
And we're using a water-based protein remover.
Oh.
And this is going to get off any excess proteins on the eye area. This is going to remove any excess oils. These oils degrade the bond between the lash extension and the natural lash.
Mm-hmm.
And while we're doing this, we can also take a peek and start getting an idea of the health of your lashes, where
so
the
curious.
fullness is. You actually have really great natural lashes.
Thank you so much. That is actually something that I think I was most anxious about with lash extensions, like having my natural lashes not be quite as healthy looking or as long as they are post lash extension.
So that is only ever a concern if the lash extensions are either not applied correctly or not cared for correctly. When everything's done the way that they're supposed to, lash extensions are perfectly healthy. One of the great things about it is we're doing one section per natural lash. So we're not getting anything stuck to the skin. We're not getting sections of lashes clustered together.
Okay.
So each lash that we put on, or in this case, each volumizing preform that we put on, will move independent of itself. So nothing's going to pull, nothing's going to snag, nothing's going to feel uncomfortable. So the bonding agent that we use for lash extensions is a medical grade adhesive.
Okay. Does that mean this is like also what they use in like hospitals for like cuts and stuff like that? Or is that a different kind of adhesive?
They're very similar. This formula is based off of that. So they're kind of mock liquid stitches.
Okay.
And not all bonding agents are equal either. So what we're doing now is we're going through and we're taking a peek at the lash line, seeing how the lashes are grown in. Your lashes can grow in any number of ways. Here we're looking at lashes that are growing straight up and out, which is actually ideal for lash extensions. That means we're not going to have to do any creative design to make the lashes sit in a particular direction. If you're looking here, we're a little bit lighter on the interior. That's how everybody's lashes are when they grow in. A standard lash, you have your shortest lashes in the interior, and the exterior, and the length tends to be right here in the middle. And as a finished look, that's called a crown lash. And that's actually the kind of lash that we're going to be doing today. It's more of a natural finish, but that doesn't mean that we still can't have it be nice and bold too. So we are using a C-curl today. And we're using a variety of lengths. I always like to use at least 3 lengths per set, just to give that variety. Otherwise, you get a very artificial look. So we're starting with 10 millimeters on the interior, and we're gonna grade up to 14s here in the center, and then back down to 11s on the outer corners. So the outer corners will still be a little longer than the interior, but they're gonna be shorter than the where the ball of the eye is. And what I'm doing here, these are preformed. So this is 5 volumizing lashes that have been bonded together already. We separate and isolate a single lash. We swipe our bonding agent on the lash, and then we hold it in place. And when it doesn't move, we know that it's secure and we can move on.
Is there a certain number of lashes that generally you can put on one single lash and beyond that you shouldn't, or anything?
So it's not necessarily the number of lashes, it's all about the weight of the lashes. So these preforms, they're not like the clusters that you can get at the drugstore or even here at Ulta. They're much lighter weight, and they are designed to be about the same weight as a standard lash extension. So what we're doing now is we're going through and doing the framework, or where we're going to put all the different lengths so everything's nice and even.
Either in application or post in like maintenance, what are the most common issues that people will run into that will make them be like, no, lash extensions are terrible?
That's what the defining difference between a good set and a not so good set is not having the natural lashes properly separated. So that's where the lashes are getting glued together in sections, or things are sticking that shouldn't be sticking. And that can cause stress on the lash line, that can cause lashes to fall out, that can cause swelling of the lash line and just general discomfort. As we go through, we're going to keep constantly checking our work and making sure that nothing is sticking to each other, because that's what's going to give you the best longevity of your lashes and the most comfort for wear. For at home, friction and oils. So oils break down the bond of any lash glue. Just, that's what happens. So you always have to use water-based everything around the eye area. And then the other big culprit to the demise of lashes is friction, and that happens when we're sleeping or when we're rubbing our eye, or if we wear a lot of makeup, that can add friction to the base of the lash line. Now, sleep tends to be the big culprit. Most of us tend to be side sleepers or face sleepers. And one little trick that really helps with reducing that is investing in a sleep mask, because that's going to hold your lashes nice and flush without causing that friction.
When you put the sleep mask on, do you want your lashes to be like raised or flat against your cheek?
Flat against your cheek.
Are lash extensions better for some people than other people?
So lash extensions aren't for everyone. We really want them to be, but some people just aren't good candidates. You need to have a good solid lash line to start with. If you have a lot of gaps, they're harder to mask and harder to work around, and it's not saying that's not impossible, but there are limitations. If there aren't lashes to attach an extension to, we can't put an extension there. People who like to pick and pull and rub at things also aren't great candidates, just as the nature of lash extensions is they tend to be a little delicate. But people who are really great candidates, you're an excellent one. We're looking at really great, lush, natural lashes, which basically means we can do anything that we want to your lashes.
Oh my gosh.
And yours are already a great natural length, so that also means it can support the weight of the longer lashes, which is why we're using the 14s.
Okay.
And even people who think that they don't have any lashes, sometimes they're just either really light or very short. And if you have short lashes, you're still an excellent candidate for them. In fact, you can sometimes get the best wow factor with your before and afters. But one of the great things about lash extensions is they're one of the few things out there where the less you do with them at home, the better they're going to last. Healthy lash extensions like to be clean, they like to be brushed, and then they like to be left alone. On average, we recommend that people come in for fills between every 2 and 3 weeks, and that just follows the natural cycle of our own lashes. Our lashes really only hang on for a handful of weeks before they shed and a new one comes in. So even though the bond that
like your natural lash.
Correct.
Okay.
So even though the bond that we're making is permanent, your lashes are growing. They'll grow and shed and need to be replaced about twice a month. And that also depends again on your care of them at home. Some people are just going to cycle through them a little quicker.
Should you not be wearing mascara when you have lashes?
We don't recommend it. I mean, in truth, that kind of defeats the purpose a little bit. But there are people out there that do. And there's also mascaras out there that are designed to be lash extension friendly. But even still with wearing mascara, the removal process, you're going to be putting stress on the bond. So that's still, even though the mascara is made for the extensions, they're still going to wear because of the removal process of the makeup. And it's very important to keep your lashes nice and clean. Your eye area is very active naturally. We have a lot of proteins, and that needs to be up and off the lashes for them to stay looking nice and for them to stay healthy.
What about skincare? Like eye creams? Is eye cream something you shouldn't be using when you have extensions?
No, eye creams are totally fine when you have extensions. With eye creams, you also shouldn't be getting them near the lash line. You always want to have your eye creams on the orbit. You have that distance anyway. So even if your eye cream does have an oil in it, it should be far away enough where you should be okay.
But how do you know who's a good lash tech and who's not? Like, are there ways for the customer who doesn't know like a lot about lashes and technicalities can like be able to tell?
Absolutely. The big thing is the consultation. They should be upfront and honest with you about the look that you're going for and the look that's achievable.
Okay.
They should have a good portfolio. The portfolio should be unedited photos.
Okay.
Anything that has a soft focus to it, chances are they're hiding something with that soft focus.
Okay.
So you really want clarity. You really want nice up-close photos. You want to be able to see all of the intricate details of the extensions.
If I'm in the chair, are there certain things that I should like be looking for as a customer where they would be like alarm bells to be like, maybe this isn't something I should proceed with?
Yes. So any sort of negative sensation there, you should be very comfortable throughout the whole process. You're basically laying there and taking a little bit of a nap.
Okay.
There shouldn't be any pulling. There shouldn't be any stinging. There should be no burning. You shouldn't have any discomfort in the eye area at all. Your lash line should feel nice and comfortable. The pressure of the technician should be nice and off your face. You shouldn't feel like you're being smothered.
A lot of people, when I was like watching videos, said that like their eyes would water because of the glue. Like, is that normal?
Yes and no. So not all glues are made equal, and some people are just more sensitive to them. Some watering every once in a while can be normal. I mean, the eyes are active, so anytime they're being worked on, that watering can happen, but that shouldn't be the norm, and there shouldn't be any discomfort associated with that. So for the first 24 hours, your lashes are going through what we call a curing phase.
Okay.
And while the outside of the bonding agent is totally dry and secure and nothing's going to go anywhere, the inside takes a little bit longer. So you want to give that full 24 hours for the bond to fully take hold between the natural lash and the extension.
Okay.
These are absolutely waterproof. So after the 24 hours, you can do saunas, you can swim in them, you can do hot tubs, you can do facials, you can do even seawater. So salt water is totally fine.
So do you end up putting like a lash onto every single natural lash?
Just about. And again,
Okay.
that'll also depend on the consultation. You know, for somebody who wants something softer and more natural, we're not going to pick every single lash.
Okay.
For somebody who wants something more on the bold side, we will pick as many lashes that can support an extension. Some lashes are just a little too short or a little too fine to be able to hold up the weight of a natural lash successfully. If a lash ever starts bowing dramatically to one side or the other, that means there's too much weight on the natural lash.
Oh, okay.
So then that particular lash that we had picked isn't a good candidate, so we would pull that one off. And while I'm working, you can see that I'm jumping around. So I'm jumping around to give the bonding agent more drying time. So we're going to get less stuck lashes. The bonding agent stays wet for a couple of seconds regardless of the brand. That's just the nature of glue. So what we're doing now is we have a small amount of lashes on. So we're going through and we're brushing, making sure everything's sitting in line. We're going to lift and make sure that we don't have anything sticking where we don't want it. And it's never a bad idea to, when the extensions are being done, to do a lift check and make sure that none of the lower lashes are sneaking up around the pad.
So are you using the preforms on like all preforms, or are you using some singles, some preforms?
For you today, we're doing just the preforms. It sits more in line with the end look that you're going for, that softness. The preforms are really wonderful for, it cuts down on the application of a volumizing lash set significantly because we don't need to make our own little section.
What does that mean? A volumizing lash set?
So a volumizing lash set is using microfine lashes, and those microfine lashes, because they're so lightweight, we're able to put multiples on each natural lash.
Now, can you put lashes on top of, like, extensions on top of extensions, or is it not suggested?
We don't suggest it just because that amount of weight can stress the natural lash line.
Okay. Also, when lashes start to fall out and like it's getting close to a fill time, I know a lot of people who will like either glue individuals or glue strip lashes to like fill in the look of the extensions temporarily. Is that suggested or no?
In a perfect world, no. But in a perfect world, your lashes will also wear evenly enough where you're not going to have those gaps. If you do, because it'll happen sometimes, lashes don't always shed in the fashion that we want. The clusters are a good supplement.
Okay.
As a technician, we do recommend trying to avoid that as much as possible.
Okay.
But in a real world setting, if you have a date or an event and you couldn't get in for your lash fill and you have that little bit of a gap,
yeah,
plugging in one isn't going to do any harm, as long as you're being careful not to attach them to the extensions or get the glue on the extensions.
Are strip lashes more damaging to the eyes than lash extensions?
They are, and that's because we're making a smooth, solid bond between your lash line, the skin, and the strip lash. So you're not allowing your lash line to breathe properly, and skin loves to be able to breathe. And you're also attaching just one solid unit to basically all of your upper lashes. So at the end of the day, that can cause just more irritation. You can experience contact dermatitis from it, which is just a fancy way of saying it's a mild allergic reaction, which can cause redness, irritation, drying, flaking. And a lot of those glues are latex-based. And a lot of people have sensitivities to latex, and a lot more people will have sensitivity to latex with overexposure to it. So you could be using a lash glue that's working for you, and then just one day it stings, and that's that. You have a latex allergy then.
Do you generally have like a stencil by which you go by when you're doing lashes, or is it really actually person to person?
It's entirely person to person.
If I were to come in for a fill in a couple of weeks and I wanted to kind of change up the style from like a crown shape to more of like a cat eye like corner flare, is that easy to do?
Absolutely. That's one of my favorite things about lashes is once you start, you aren't tied into any particular look. And sometimes if it's an extreme difference, we will have to do some lash removal to, be able to achieve the new look. But in general, when you come in for your fill, there's been enough lash shedding that we can readjust the framework easily enough. So if we're looking at your lash line now, we can see that our high point is right here, dead center, and we have our shortest lashes here, and we can start to see that little bit of a chevron that we're making here. And with the strip lashes that you had showed me that it was our inspiration, we're also going to do areas where it's going to be a little more dense, and then we're going to have a few less to really give that nice dimension and that varying texture within the lash line.
Do you do lower lash extensions, Danny?
We do not. Mucosal lines of your upper and lower lashes don't actually meet. Your upper lash overlaps your lower lash line a little bit. And for us to properly do lash extensions, we obviously need your eyes closed. So there's no way for us to apply lower lashes safely, just because your eye will have to be open a little bit. And even though the bonding agent is made for the eye area, it's made for the eye area when the eye's closed. And we're also using sharp tweezers, and even though you can have a nice steady hand, still shouldn't be working tweezers around an open eye. We have right now about 50% of the lashes.
50%.
So we're about the halfway mark.
So this is what 50% looks like. I cannot wait to like watch this footage. I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay guys, so this here is the finished look, and I'll get a better angle like with lighting and stuff outside in daylight. This here is Danny.
Hello.
Now that they can like see what actually my lashes look like what did we end up doing?
So we went through and we used those volumizing preformed lashes. So each individual lash got 5 extensions on it. And we went through and we selected the best, strongest, and healthiest lashes. And we applied those 5D preforms to those lashes to give you a really full, natural look. We used a combination of different lengths to give you the soft flutteriness and feathery finish that we ended with. We did the crown style, so the bulk of the length is in the center of the lash, with the shortest lashes being on the interior and the mid-length ones being on the exterior.
They also, to be honest, don't feel as heavy or as artificial as I was thinking they would. It was completely painless. I fell asleep at like 2 points, which is a true story. So again, that goes to the fact that if you are going to someone who knows what they're doing and is good,
there should be no discomfort.
No discomfort of any kind. My lid doesn't feel raw or heavy or like nothing is burning or stinging, but I'm really pleasantly surprised. Like I love this. I didn't think this was gonna be a permanent thing for me either, but like I think this might be something I roll with for a little bit because I'm super into it. So thank you, Danny.
Oh, you're welcome.
My lips are so crusty. Please hold. Okay guys, I'm back in my car. The lashes feel pretty weightless. Like I can tell that there's something there and I can see the shadow of the lash, but that always happens whenever I wear lash bands and then it goes away. So I definitely feel like I'm gonna forget that I have these on. My eyes don't feel heavy. I feel like they look so natural. I completely support this as of right now. There you go. So now you guys can see the lashes a little bit better. And then from the side, they have that amazing like curve and wisp to them. I don't know what the zoom is actually gonna look like when I get into editing, but I'm barely wearing makeup. Like I mixed my Vita Liberata body blur in with the new Makeup Forever HD like skin tint, which is barely any coverage. And I just put that all over my face, bronzer, and highlight, and a lot of it wore off in the process. But I just feel like with the lashes on, it just makes everything look more put together. Also, I don't know if you guys saw in the video, but my shirt says Champagne and Drake, and it is from a brand called Coffee in the Shower, I believe. I'll leave their thing linked down below. I love this sweatshirt. It is everything. It speaks to so many emotions I have. My necklace is from Daisy London. It's one of the chakra pendants, which I really love. That was the lash extension experience. I hope you guys enjoyed. This was cool. I kind of like vlogging, but then I'm also like, my life on a regular basis is so mundane and just boring. Like, there's nothing to vlog except for when I do things like this. So I hope you guys found that interesting and or helpful. Let me know what you guys thought about this video, if you guys like this style of video, if you guys want more of this style of casual video, and also thoughts about lash extensions after seeing this. If you feel the same way, or if you guys have any experiences with lash extensions, let me know also, because I always want more knowledge. But until my next video, thank you guys as always so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you soon. Bye!